Okay. So in our last chapter, 3C friends, we learned a lot about geometric shapes. We learned that geometric shapes are closed figures with at least 3 sides, and here are examples of geometric shapes. We see a pentagon and another pentagon. But today we're going to learn some new vocabulary associated with our learning of geometry, and it's the word congruent. Congruent means shapes that are the same size and the same shape. So when we consider these two pentagons, if we were to ask ourselves, are these shapes congruent or not congruent? We would first ask ourselves, well, are they the same shape? Well, counting sides, we see that each shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So they're the same 5-sided figure. They're both pentagons. But are they the same size pentagons? Well, looking with our naked eye, they look like they're the same shape, but if we were to grab one of these figures and lay it on top of the other, we would see, yes, in fact, they are the exact same size. So when asked, are these congruent or not congruent? These two pentagons are congruent. Here's another example. 2 equilateral triangles. Are they the same shape? Yes, they're equilateral triangles. We see that they're 3-sided polygons with sides of equal length. But are they congruent? Are they the same size equilateral triangle? The interesting thing about the way that these shapes are configured is that in space, the equilateral triangles are facing different directions. If I were to take this shape and rearrange it, we could see that it was just shifted, but in fact, if we were to drag this equilateral triangle on top of the other, we would find, yes, in fact, they are the same shape. Therefore, these are congruent equilateral triangles because they are the same size and the same shape. When we look at this next example, we might agree that these 3-sided figures are both triangles, but this right triangle and this isosceles triangle, although they're triangles, they're different types of triangles, so they're not the exact same size, nor are they the exact same shape. So if we were to ask ourselves, are these triangles congruent or not congruent, we would have to say these are not congruent, because although they're both triangles, they're different types of triangles that are different sizes. Now, moving on to this example, it's a bit unique because when we think, are these the same shape? Well, they're both right triangles, but are they the same size? Certainly not. This is a larger version of a right triangle. These shapes are an example of our next vocabulary term in our study of geometry, the word similar. These are examples of similar figures because they are the same shape, they're both right triangles, but they're different sizes, and similar figures can be different sizes. So these right triangles are examples of similar figures. Are they congruent? They are not congruent because they are not the same size, but they are similar because they are the same shape, but different sizes. So the things to remember are that congruent shapes are the same size and the same shape. So for example, this square, if we were to rotate it, we would see, yep, in fact, they are the same size and same shape square. But similar objects, although they're the same shape, they can be different sizes. So this larger square and this smaller square are examples of similar figures. Although these are not congruent, they are similar. Use this reminder to help you complete the sample problems on your worksheet. Good luck, Smarties.